Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you as always by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for your Friday, the 26th of July.
The Agenda podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Good morning, Heath. Great posture this morning.
Yeah, I'm sitting up after seeing the last video that went out from the last thing where I'm like hunched over, like Quasimodo.
Yeah.
About 25 chins.
We've said this before, just terrible lumbar support from these.
These couches. Come on, G-Lane.
Shop couches.
Terrible. These wouldn't even be, if you put these out on a berm, they wouldn't even be picked up.
It's like your office smoko room.
Yeah.
And because no one actually owns it, it's always just in the shittiest state.
Yeah.
Because no one's ever going to take ownership and be like, I'm going to fix it. What we all do is sit on these couches and be like, fuck, these are uncomfortable. And then none of us go out and do anything about it.
Make Michael Boggs, the CEO of NZer, do 5 podcasts a week on these couches, and next thing you know, you'd find a wonderful studio with a cafe environment.
Yeah, I think if Simeon Brown had to take the bus to work, all of our roads would be fixed.
I tell you what, though, Auckland Transport, you know, that are always bus and cycle lane.
Yeah.
Seen the size of their car park? All those arseholes are driving to work.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All of those arseholes.
That's the thing in Auckland.
Get rid of your car park and then come to me and tell me to get rid of my car.
Yeah, that's right. All of the, because they've revamped the whole bus system. You jump in your bus, great. Then you just sit, they don't have bus lanes, so you're just sitting in the same traffic you would have been in your own car. Or standing more often than not.
Standing in your own filth in
It's
a
like
bus.
every other country figured out trains over 100 years ago.
Yeah, well, we did have light rail, didn't we? We had the bloody trams, but then they took them out.
Bloody idiots. Hey, I've got a little bit of advice that I'd like to ask of you today.
Oh, yes?
I am commentating the Warriors tonight at 8 p.m.
Ah, yeah.
It's
Hard on a Friday.
payday Friday too.
Yeah.
A bit of excitement around the office.
Shit.
Beers at lunchtime. Last week, I tried and failed to go home at lunchtime and then come back in for the commentary.
Yeah. Well, you didn't make it home, or?
I made it home, but way too late. I got home at about 7.
Yeah, right.
And then I was back in at 9.
Yeah, that's difficult. Yeah.
And some are alleging that I was still drunk on the commentary. I deny those claims. But how do you play it? You're a veteran of many commentaries.
Oh, God, it's the hardest thing in professional commentating is a Friday, especially Friday, much harder than a Saturday.
Much harder.
And just the 8 o'clock kickoff just makes it that a little bit harder because you could probably back yourself to keep it together till 7. You know.
Is that when I turn into a pumpkin at around 7?
Although, I tell you what, last week, that game, the Fijian All Blacks game, that really got me because it was mid-afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had a few drinks with it, and then I was so confused because I figured it was the middle of the night, but then I was going out for dinner with some people, and I was middle of the night, Matt, and they were sort of early afternoon, just got showered and put some nice clothes on and went out for dinner.
I know, this is the problem.
And I was treating that restaurant like a nightclub.
I know. Yeah, well, this is what happened last week. The game was at 10, on a Friday. I show up stag do Manaia for a full-scale commentary.
Well, I would say stick to your exports. I'd stay away from the top shelf.
Yeah.
I'd definitely stay away from the vino.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I was getting into the 6%ers, the
Yeah.
crafties.
I think you've just got to
No dinner.
go about your work, but the problem is all your rules throw out the window. This is the problem. You have a rule that you go, like when I was going to the rugby last week, I was like, I'll just have one. But then one made me want to have 2. And, you have a drink, then the drink has you. Next, I'm not the person I was that didn't want to drink. I'm now a totally different person that wants to drink.
You're now talking to Mr. Hyde.
yeah, it's not the same thing. I want someone that actively wants to ruin my life for a joke.
Yeah, that's
rather than trying to make things better.
It's exactly what happened to me last week because I was like, right, I'm going to go home after this beer. I'm going to go home after this beer. I'm going to go home after this beer. And then I was like, you know what? I've knocked off for the day anyway, so I don't have to go home if I don't want.
I deserve it. I work hard. I deserve this. The other thing is, because mainly me trying to drink less is just me telling it to the
Other
person
people.
serving me. I'll say, just one more.
Yeah.
I always just say to them, just one more. Like, they don't care how many at the bar, that it's just one more. It's like, just one more. Just one more. Just one more. They don't care.
No.
Just order the drink. You're talking to yourself for that one more.
I know, and I had Lawrence from the office sitting next to me the whole afternoon. She's been like, so when are you going home? I was like, after this one. So you said that 5 beers ago.
But I listened to your commentary. You were fine.
Thank you.
I
listened to it as well.
I didn't know that. It didn't strike me. I mean, you were a little bit deflated at the end, but that was probably,
That was about par for the course.
Yeah.
I would say to anyone listening, how it's so unsettling to hear the sound of your own voice recorded.
Yeah.
It never goes away in broadcasting, by the way. It's so much worse to hear yourself wasted.
Oh, God.
And it is the punishment you need. I paid my penance on Monday morning because I had to clip a few videos out of the commentary, and I had to sit there.
Because you can tell.
Oh, boy, can you tell.
And you can sniff your own bullshit like no one else can. And you put on pretense when you've been drinking. You kind of get a bit of a, not you, me.
Yeah. No, me too.
Yeah, but I get this kind of voice, and I'm making these jokes, and I think I'm all that.
Yeah.
I think I'm all that more than normal.
My confidence meter's full.
Yeah.
I'm trying jokes that don't land.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was mentioned on the text, and thanks to all of you who sent those through.
Oh, it's great to have the support when you're in a difficult time, having drunk all afternoon and trying to do a commentary. But yeah, look, tell you what, the question you asked me, I've been working on it my whole life, and I've never managed to quite work out how you handle that commentary. And I'll tell you what, to be fair, we're not getting a great example from the top in the ACC, because
absolutely not.
G Lane will often come in an absolute steam train and commit horrendous atrocities on the air. There'll be some afternoons where you'll be at the bar having a beer on a Friday afternoon, and I'll turn to Lane and just be like, "Geez, mate, I've got to commentate. I might bounce." And he goes, "Look, I think your only way through is just to drink through into the commentary." Well, it's top down. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna play. I think a few waters, bit of a feed. She'll be right. Yeah, you'll be right.
Tune into that commentary to find out if it's
case or us, or what will be.
That's right.
You're on the you're on the tides of you just go with the tide.
Yeah,
just don't fight it. Don't swim against the universe.
We can't. Yeah, you can't change the waves. You can only choose which ones to ride.
That's right. Yeah, it's Taoism.
Yeah. Another bit of advice I wanted to ask you or get your take on is changing room etiquette, because you can probably tell. You can probably even hear it. I've been going to the gym quite a lot lately.
Yeah. You down Les Mills?
Yeah, go over to Les Mills. I am quite aware when I walk into that gym that I am the least attractive person in there. Every time I walk in, it's one of those hot people gyms.
Right.
I got no right to be there, but it's also just across the road from work, so I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I kind of go to a middle-aged gym, so that
Yeah, but then I also think if I go there for long enough, then I will become a hot person.
Yeah. They're just people that have been there longer than you have.
That's right.
Yeah.
At one stage,
you're on the journey.
Like me. Yeah, that's right. We're all
you're the walking before photo for all the after photos.
Big time. But anyway, so went over there, went pretty hard, set some PBs. It's not about that. Came back and I shower here at work. There are the situation at work is there are about 15 showers. I don't know if you've ever been into these changing rooms.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
There's like 15 showers, but the area to get changed is so small.
Within the shower?
No, well, yes, but then also out.
Oh, yeah.
Benches, you can only fit about 3 people in there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, I've had an awkward interaction with one of the guys from the Herald where we held hands in our undies at one point.
Yeah, that's hot.
Getting changed. But there is a guy that goes down there and he is full stark naked. He goes full naked. And I just wanted to know, what is the etiquette around going nude in a shared locker room? Because this is a building that has about 5 different companies in it.
Yeah.
We don't know each other. Like, if it's a sports team, I get it. But this guy he'll walk in, get full nude, and then sort of dick around, fire off a text, organise his clothes. Then he'll go and have a shower. This is all full nude, by the way. He'll have a yarn with you. He'll look you in the eye. Dick out. And then he goes.
What's he running?
Hey?
Is he running?
Oh, God. I've sort of repressed it. I'm sure he's not giving a great account of himself. He's just biked into work.
Yeah.
So I haven't checked.
Well, I respect that. I mean, if someone's engineering a situation so they can be nude to show off what they've got, I don't respect that. But someone that's running like 2 testes and a split testy on top and still nude, I'm like,
you respect that more.
Well, just respect it because it's like you're being nude because it's more practical. It's not about sort of you're not showing off,
Yeah, but the thing that really gets me is when he gets out of the shower. So he's obviously in the shower. He's drying himself. Then he comes out, and he's holding the towel in his hand, and he walks out nude. It would be easier to wrap it around your waist, even your shoulders. So at that point, I'm like, he's making a point here. He's like, yeah, it would be easier for me. I'm going to make it harder on myself.
Yeah.
Just so I can walk out here.
Yeah, it's interesting because I used to go to this gym called Body Tech, and it was very pro-nudity, it seemed. Like, dudes would be, like, shaving, and they'll be completely nude. They'll be there. They'll do all their ablutions in the nude and get everything they need to do in the nude and then get dressed afterwards. And I started to feel like I was the bad guy because I'd be wearing a towel.
Yeah.
You know, like what's wrong with me? Am I being judgmental of these people? You know, what am I doing? So I don't know, but I think you're allowed to. I think you're allowed to be nude. I think you are. I think, and if it's a changing room situation, you're allowed to be nude. I mean, but you're also allowed not to be nude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
But the biggest problem that I have, obviously, the walking out of the shower holding the towel, that's egregious. But then I'm now getting changed next to my man, and we are like, honestly, we've got about, it would be like a 4 square meter area to get changed. There'll be 3 or 4 dudes in there, you know, and at that point we're touching buttocks.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Yeah, no, that is interesting. I don't know what the etiquette is, and it's getting beaten out. I think definitely people are getting less nude at gyms. I think nudity is going away a lot quicker. I know that people that have been to boarding school have a very different view of it. Although you were boarding school, but and you're not necessarily going as nude as you did at boarding school.
Well, but if I was with the boarding school guys, that's a different thing.
Because it's a received. You know, the conditions are
agreed upon.
Yeah.
And there's a bond with those. The same with the rugby team. Fine with that.
I just had a slightly different thought. I was at the gym yesterday. I was like, I keep going home and showering at home. What am I doing? Shower at the gym. Free hot water, free soap.
Yep.
What am I doing? I live about 100 metres from my gym, and I'm walking out the door. Just need to heft my clothes in a bag and use the facilities I'm paying for.
What I would say is make sure if you're doing that you're washing your towel in between workouts, because I've just become aware that I actually can't remember the last time I washed my gym towel.
Yeah.
It might not have been this calendar year. And I've only become aware of that because I've broken out in a rash this week. And I'm like, is it because I keep putting my towel on the floor of a shared bathroom and then drying myself with it the next day? Probably.
It probably is. Yeah.
So that's just a hygiene PSA. But yeah, I think if you're in a group where you're like a rugby team, boarding school, whatever, you know the people, I'm okay with that. If it's even within the same company, I'm kind of okay with that. If you just straight up don't know each other, I just
No, I think you might. I think you might have a point there. Yeah. But are you going to say anything?
Oh God, no.
You know, put your pants on, mate.
I don't even want to talk. The other day I was sitting down and he said, "G'day, mate. How you going?" And I was sitting down. He's standing up. I was like, "We're not doing this, mate." You know, I'm eye level here.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you very much for your. I'm sure some people have some feelings on this, so send them through in your voicemails. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I've got a heated debate I'd like to also run past you. So quick break. We'll be right back. But just before we do, the Hallensteins VIP, we want to hook you up with an exclusive opportunity to win VIP Warriors experience. You'll score tickets, cash money, food, beverages, vouchers to be kitted out by the legends at Hallensteins. So text VIP to 3236 to be that VIP. Thanks to the ACC and Hallensteins. All right, the Olympics, Heath, are underway ahead of the actual opening ceremony, which is tomorrow morning our time at 6:30.
I know. How gutting for the men's sevens. They're out of the Olympics before the Olympics even start.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Do they have to come home now?
Oh, God. Let them hang out in the village and have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that guy, Andrew Newstup?
Yeah.
Dangerously good-looking man.
He's done like 4 ACLs or something. He's finally got to go to the Olympics, and now
they're out. I mean, they smashed South Africa in pool play, and then just
didn't fire.
Didn't fire. They looked so freaking good. What's that guy, Moses Leo? Yeah,
Leo, yeah.
God, he's got some speed.
Yeah, no, they did. It was just, I mean, that's how sports goes, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially sevens, I think. Sevens is
volatile.
Is volatile. You know, you get the break, you get an overlap. You know, you run a couple of length of the fields, an intercept.
It's the T20 of rugby.
Yeah, it is.
Anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel bad analysis. I came into my radio show and I said, the sevens against South Africa, we are going to win the gold. Like we are.
Yeah.
We've never looked so good, and then no.
That's how she goes. She's a cruel sport. But we have announced our flag bearers, who are going to be Joe Alley and Aaron Gate, who I didn't realise.
Cyclist,
yeah, but I didn't realise he was at the 2012 Olympic Games.
Wow.
Bronze medalist there, yeah.
Wow,
He's
jeez.
Most decorated Commonwealth athlete as well. And then Jo Alley's the sailor as well. She was at the 2012 Olympics too. So 2 very decorated athletes in their own right. We were talking yesterday on the podcast that LeBron James has been anointed the flag bearer for the US.
Oh, yes.
We were like, could we just give him our flag too? And we'll tell Uzbekistan, hey, we'll swap and we'll just draft off the back of the US. He has been, you know, because their basketball team, they select all of these amazing players, and every player's like, I'm the superstar of this team, I'm the go-to guy. But when it comes down to it and they need to win, LeBron James rattled off 11 points to save a win the other day. And he's 40 years old. He's still by far the best player on that team, and you find out at nut crunch time. But all of these memes have now started coming out about how he's the greatest basketball player of all time, blah, blah, blah. I saw a tweet that said he is arguably the greatest American of all time.
Right.
Someone said, I've got him over Abe Lincoln.
Well, LeBron does a bit of charity work, doesn't he? He's got because to be the greatest of all time, you need to both excel at what you're doing, but also excel as a human being, don't you?
Yeah, and he does. He set up schools in his hometown and things like that. He donates a lot of money to charity. But just thinking of like who's the greatest of all time, the fact that they've got him over Abe Lincoln, it made me think, what's the New Zealand equivalent? Like, would you have Jonah over Edmund Hillary?
Well, that's a good comparison, isn't it? It is definitely a good comparison.
Like, who is the greatest New Zealander of all time? Have you guys ever done that on the Matt and Jerry show?
No, I haven't actually, but it's a difficult one to work out. I mean, what have you done? The greatest New Zealander of all time might be just a community leader that has just done a whole lot of stuff quietly in the background and changed a million people's lives. It might be, I don't know, some
Brown Butterbean.
Yeah, it might be just someone that's running a community boxing gym or something, and he's changed a million people's lives just quietly with a butterfly effect.
Our man Peach out in West Auckland. What about like Ernest Rutherford?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Like, he did split the atom, and splitting the atom, fired up Oppenheimer and his mates, and now where we're at. So I don't know. There was some sliding doors there if he hadn't done that.
Yeah,
although I interviewed this guy. He's a very famous Brian Cox, famous
yes, I know.
UK physicist,
Talks really
and
softly.
he visited. He's from Manchester University, where Rutherford went to, and he said you run a Geiger counter over Rutherford's desk, it's still because back then they didn't really know what they were doing, so they keep his memorial desk all sealed off because there was so much radiation operating around that guy.
There's a lot of those stories about girls using the stuff as nail polish and like lip gloss and that.
Yeah, mercury chasing Quicksilver, they called it, chasing it around the table for fun.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this reeks of another bracket showdown where we put all of the top 64 New Zealanders.
Shit, it's a hard one.
Constable Keith versus Harold.
Is it someone like Willie Apiata because,
Charlie Upham.
Great heroism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then humble when they get home.
Thingy versus Props Boy.
Yeah.
Harold versus Constable Keith. There'd be so many good grudge matches that you could have. Lundy v. Bain, obviously, would be in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, anyone going up against Lundy or Bain would hope to win their round. If you've got Sir Edmund Hillary up against Lundy, and Lundy goes through to the next round, he would though if ACC people are voting.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the problem.
Jake the Muss. Although then, do you have a problem where Jake the Muss could conceivably come up against Queen Bee, Beatrice Famuina? Is that a problem?
Yeah. So Stephen Adams.
Yes, Stephen versus Valerie.
Yeah.
I think this reeks of a bit of a bracket for the ACC, doesn't it?
I think it's good, yeah.
I
mean, Stephen Adams versus Ernest Rutherford. You're trying to work it out. Like, how do we compare these two?
How many rebounds did Ernest Rutherford have?
Yeah.
What was
how many double-doubles did Ernest Rutherford have?
Career earnings. Stephen Adams is up over 100 million US now.
Chances of completely setting off a chain of events that destroy the entire planet. Rutherford, he's got you there.
He's got him hands down. Yeah. I think that we could compile a good list of some of the best. We even sat down in the office, me and Joe Jury, this morning and just blasted a couple out there. Jason Gunn versus Fadi Fafoy.
Coincidentally, I'm about to shoot a TV commercial all day today with Jason Gunn.
Oh,
Once I finish this, I'm off out to me and Jason Gunn. I'll ask him.
Ask him who he thinks. John Toogood versus Dave Dobbin. Michael Hill versus the Mad Butcher.
Oh shit, that's a yeah. I think the Mad Butcher might get there.
Yeah, I think you would too, particularly with our audience. Irene Van Dyke versus Bernice Mini.
Oh shit.
Yeah, these are tough, aren't they? Richie DC, Hills Bears versus Mike McRoberts, the Nick Minute guy versus Dr. Ashley Bloomfield. Look, there's a lot out there. And I think we need to put together a bracket, and then we'll vote down to find out who's the greatest New Zealander of all time.
What was the whale thing many years ago? The whale on the beach thing. Who did that? It was
Oppo the dolphin.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
There was the otter that escaped.
Yeah.
Jin the otter. Yeah,
something.
I think
Jin the otter versus Shrek the sheep. I mean, we're moving into the animal kingdom.
Shrek the sheep versus Dolly the sheep, the first cloned sheep from New Zealand as well.
Yeah.
The Canterbury Panther versus the Haast Eagle versus the Fiordland Moose. You know, we're getting into cryptozoology at this point.
Yeah, but still.
But I think, okay, all right. I'll work across the weekend. If this has triggered anything in you, DM us, send us in a voicemail. We'll put this bracket together, start doing it next week. We are, in a roundabout way, still talking about the Olympics. The dirty, cheating Canucks, they beat us this morning, 2-1.
Yeah.
So the drone worked.
I was thinking about this. So, like, I could fly a drone over Richard Kahui's house, but it wouldn't tell me anything about being really good looking. And I think that was the same thing that the Canadians are doing. There's nothing that the New Zealanders could teach us about football, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like there was no information there they could take out because
That's right.
our strategy is 9 at the back, boot it as far away as we can, get it to the goalie, boot it down the field and hope it doesn't come back for a couple of minutes.
I tell you what the biggest fuck you move from our team would be is to film their training and send it to Canada. So here you go. You don't have to spy on us. Here's everything we're about to do and then win. Unfortunately, we lost. So it's obviously
They won the gold medal last time.
Yeah.
Heavily ranked. We're like right down the bottom.
So it turns out crime pays.
Yeah, but you don't expect that from the Canadians, to put up their hands as the first story of the Olympics as cheats. Like if you were running the sweepstake on that, I mean, Canada being outed as cheats was low on the chances.
Did not have that on my bingo card. Are Russia even at this Olympics? Probably not, eh?
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Just the 5 to get through today. The other day, Heath, we did 12, and I think we decided collectively that's too many. That is too many, so bit of discretion today. We've only got the 5. First one here, caller, yours, please. Just go through the order that they're in.
Geez, sorry, lads, I don't know what happened there. I think the iHeartradio music just started playing. Anyway, feeling pretty rubbish. Put on the bloody the ACC agenda, and first thing that comes up is pseudo-effort training. I was like, that's fucking right. Seymour brought back the good stuff. What a champion. I know where I'm going tomorrow morning, so fuck that shit's back. All right, hurry. And fuck South Canterbury.
It's so good that the cold Rex. Oh my god!
Have
Although,
you tried it?
Oh yeah, like
on it?
I was back on it a lot on the day before John Key banned it, and then now it's back. And the only problem is it's selling out your future. You don't get any better when you're on the pseudoephedrine. You know what I mean?
Kicking it down the road.
You're kicking down. It gives you the energy and clears you up enough to get through that day. But you will have to spend that day getting sick at some point. You know, like if you've got a Friday you have to get through, then the Saturday is going to be that Friday day of the sickness. You know,
It's like
it's
a delay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you took a line of cocaine, it'll get you through the night and keep you awake if you're tired, but you will be tired again, and more so afterwards.
Or like how drinking is borrowing all of tomorrow's happiness.
Yeah.
for
Oh, that's
today.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to feel really, really happy right now and not care about any of your problems? You can have that, but they will all come back times 10 tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Or like trying to drink your way out of a hangover. Again, you're just kicking it down the road.
Yeah. Sometimes you just go, I'm gonna, and you know that, but.
Final analogy would be anyone who's ever taken Imodium.
Oh yeah. That's just putting a finger in the dike.
Yeah.
That's all it's doing.
But yeah, Lane's been on the pseudo this week. That's how he's been fighting through. Another caller here. Yours, please.
Hey, fellas. I know you're sports adjacent and Hodaki adjacent, so I had a quick question. Why is there no Hodaki frequencies in Queenstown? Anyway, hooroo.
Oh, yes, it feels like you're doing some of our admin from over at Radio Hodaki. Well, it's a lot of things. Frequencies cost a lot of money, and also Queenstown has a transient population of tourists coming through, so it's hard to do a lot of sales based around radio there. We do have a frequency in Wanaka, and you can get that sort of right over the Crown Range. You can get us in Arrowtown pretty much,
right?
But a lot of people listen on iHeartradio. I was doing a vineyard tour a couple of weeks ago, and
you were just down there,
and went to the Gibson Valley, and this lovely lady came up and said her and her boyfriend listen on the iHeartradio, big fans. So you can get it.
There are ways to get it.
Yeah, you can get it on iHeartradio.
There are ways to find it, but there's also no frequency in South Canterbury. And so when I first moved to Auckland and got a job at Radio Hodaki, my mum thought I was working for an iwi station. She'd never heard of it. So they don't broadcast down there. So yeah, but yeah, ridiculous that they cost money. I don't know.
Yeah,
Where does that go?
I can't see the millions of dollars you have to spend on an FM frequency is going to last much longer in the internet era.
Where does that money go? Who gets that?
Yeah, no one knows.
The government.
Yeah,
Okay.
it goes into road cones.
Another caller here. Yours, please.
G'day, fellas. Hey, just wondering, with the Tigers game Friday night being a sellout again, has there ever been a team go through the whole NRL season selling out every single home game? Because I think there's only 2 more left, and fuck, it'd be good, wouldn't it? Sell them all out. Righto.
I mean,
Fuck easy.
Eels game's already pretty much
Yeah.
close to sell out.
So tonight's one he's right, there's 2 more. So we've had 10 home games this season, sold them all out. Eels, and then I forget who the other one is. I expect that they'll both sell out as well. Oh, Bulldogs is the other one.
Yeah, Bulldogs, yeah.
I expect that they will both sell out. And I did do a little bit of research for this podcast. That would be the first time that a team has ever sold out every one of their home games in a season. And so far, we are on a 14-game sellout streak dating back to last year.
Yeah, because when we lost the last one, I texted a friend and I said, oh, at least we'll be able to get tickets easier to go to the game. And she was like, it's sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's true because people, yeah, it's more than that. It's more than just the winning, isn't it now?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. There's always been a massive Warriors faithful who, even through the doldrums, they would come.
Well, it never really got below 8,000 people.
That's right, yeah. And even it'll be like a Sunday afternoon, raining sideways, and there'd still be 15,000 people there to watch Sean Johnson slot a conversion from the sideline to cut the deficit to 40.
Well, yeah, someone told me that 8,000 is about the break-even point. If they get 8,000 at home throughout all their games, then that's what they need to do to be working as a club.
Well, should they be printing money this year?
Yeah, printing money, yeah. I mean, so all you've got to do is have the cultural impact that people love going along, and then,
it's always going to sell
out.
out.
But how many games in a row have we said it's the must-win? Mash was making a good point on, we've got to be careful with the must-win because there's always a mathematical way you can get through.
Yeah.
I think probably even if we lose against the Tigers, there's probably some way where some people above us shit the bed for the last 5 games and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can never work those out.
No, neither can I.
So we really, really need to win this one. We really, really needed to win it last week, but we really, really, really need to win it tonight.
I said it on the podcast yesterday, I think. I just want us to win this one so we can just have 1 week where we're
believing.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a theory about this because our last is a bye.
Yeah.
If we win, to get through into the top 8, we're in quite a good, unique position because, you end up in the arse end of the top 8, then you don't have that rest game. Yeah. So at least we'd have the rest game before we went into it. We're actually set up. We're actually set up for a run right through. 10 wins and we win the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, because the advantage of coming like first or second is that you then get a bye because the thing's quite convoluted.
Yeah.
And we basically get that anyway because of the bye.
So are the stars aligning?
I mean, a dream.
Dolphins, that's one that might be a difficult one.
Yeah, Bulldogs will be tough at home.
Yeah, Bulldogs.
Well.
Yeah. Anyway,
but anyhow, this would be a NRL first if we sold out every one of the home games. Another caller here, yours please.
Happy Friday, cunts. It's Mike Oxelon here. Wow. Now, I was just thinking about these halftime shows that we have at like the Warriors and all that, and how boring they are when it's just the same bullshit fucking light show. What if we were to implement Manaia's halfback sports ideas for the halftime shows? I think that would be quite thrilling for the audience, and we can actually see if these games actually work or if the rules set. Anyways, unfuck South Canterbury.
Thank you. I don't know which one of them, because a lot of them are like sports related, so it'll be like bringing a guy out of the stands to bowl the next over at the next over, or turn the field sideways for soccer, or attach a hoop to the crossbar in rugby. I don't know that they would work as a halftime show. I think there's more changes to actual sports. But I did once in another life as the promos person for Hodaki. We got pitched from KFC. They wanted to promote their Crusher, and they wanted to do a halftime show. I was like, I've got it. You run from one end of the field to the other. At halfway, Ruben Wickie's going to Crusher tackle you. At the other end, you've got to sidestep Judith Crusher Collins. And then whoever loses gets their car crushed.
That's good.
Yeah, maybe that could be the halftime.
Yeah, maybe that could. I mean, I love when there's a mascot race. That always gets me going. Big fan of mascot race. Also like when you have the people dressed up in the big inflatable sumo costumes smashing each other. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't mind people in a Zorb,
Yeah. I don't mind a Zorb at all.
I don't mind a Zorb race.
As long as there's an opportunity for someone to humiliate themselves, I think we're generally happy enough with it.
Yeah.
So, I reckon
it's tough work as a person that's done the halftime shows as a radio host. It's tough yakka out there.
Oh, I bet.
It's tough yakka. Because for you, there's a huge amount of people there. But you just got to remember that no one gives a shit about you.
No one's watching you.
No one's watching you and no one cares. Everyone's off getting something to eat or thinking about or talking.
Having a yarn, I know. We had I wasn't there for it, but we had a howler of a promo where the idea was a burger was going to be dropped from a drone. But Ben Hurley was emceeing it.
Oh, yeah.
But for whatever reason, they couldn't fix the burger to the drone, or the drone crashed or something.
I feel like I was there for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in the end, Hurley, just thinking on his feet, just picked the burger up and threw it. Someone had to try and catch it. There was another game I was at. It was like a women's T20, and they brought the wicketkeeper out at the change of innings to try and set the world record for the highest catch.
I was there for that as well.
This was at Eden Park.
Yeah, and it would fall so far away from her.
It was swirling.
Yeah.
And then it would just land 10 metres away. And the MC kept going, we'll give it one more try. And everyone in the crowd's like, oh, God, no.
Because she had to run so far and then dive because it was someone hadn't counted in that, I don't know, wind. And
they obviously hadn't tried it.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're just going to drop it from above Eden Park. And it's like, there's this howling gale. She can't track this thing. The drone's not sitting still in the air either.
Yeah, the height was the least of the problems. It was how far away it was from her.
They just humiliated.
I was there for that one as well.
Yeah.
I was like, please stop. Just please stop doing this.
No more. But I reckon we could come up with a good halftime show. We'll put our brains to it. I think we've got one more caller here. 2 more?
Flood the stadium.
No more.
Flood the stadium and go full gladiator with the ships.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. Every April Fool's, they put out an article that they're going to host the World Surfing League at Eden Park.
Yeah.
It gets me every year.
It got me last year. I was like, wow, they got a shit. Okay,
Jeez,
yeah.
how
But
would
I
you
mean,
do
I
that?
can kind of believe that because you have those artificial surf things. It's in the realms of possibility. There's a wave pool in Mount Albert.
Yeah, why not? All right, that'll do us for today. We're going to knock this thing on the head. Keep an eye on this feed. Later on, we'll have the ACC Sportsbook out as well. Enjoy your weekend, Heath, and we'll probably see you next week.
You too, Manaia. And, up the wires.
Up the wires.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you